Willie D Live.
Man, what do you think about the intersection of pimping and hip hop and media?
Well, that's what I was trying to express on the Breakfast Club. I believe that if you go back to the days of Scarface, I'm talking about the European, the Al Pacino dude,
yeah.
right? That movie inspired a lot of young African American male to be want to become drug dealers, right? And then after that, you had Colors. That inspired a lot of brothers wanted to be gangbangers, Crips and Bloods. And then after that, you had New Jack City. Brothers started taking over the project. Hollywood has always been complicit in depicting and creating the narrative. So the narrative is that we are all gangbangers, we all drug dealers, and we all sell crack in the projects. And we so naive that we follow these narratives and we take them and run with them. Well, the same thing happened with the Pimp gang. Pimps Up, Hoes Down. I know you remember that.
Yeah.
That was a part of my experience. I denounced on your show Pimps Up, Hoes Down and American Pimp because it sent a lot of young African Americans to prison, not directly but vicariously, right? Because of the culture and, like he was saying, how impressionable my people be, right? And because of that, at the same time, just like they created the sentence enhancement laws in 1985 and the crime bill in 1994, Bill Clinton and the other brother, Joe Biden, they created these laws. It created a mass incarceration problem, right? And the same thing happened with the Pimp gang. Snoop Dogg pimping all over the world. Project Pat, I'm a pimp like Ken, 50 Cent. The same thing. If you're a pimp like Ken, why the hoes don't treat you? Snoop Dogg pimping all over us. T.I. Pimp Scott Click. Nelly Pimp Juice. All that stuff created the environment with the pimping in the hip hop, right? And because of that, and because Europeans, just like they just caught, the brother online, he had the gun in his back pocket, and they found him in San Diego. They said they've seen the gun, and the police, it was the hip hop police looking at it. Well, they look at music as well, and they say, okay, this is the direction they're going. Let's create a statute. It's 5,000 statutes on the federal statute. One of those statutes is called human trafficking. They make a statute every day. I'll give you an example. Boosie. Boosie, I just did a book deal with him. That's that book, Cross the Track. You know what I'm saying? That's on there, on that DVD. Yeah. I did
the track, right?
Yeah, on the back. Yeah, I did that. I did that book with Boosie, Cross the Track. But Boosie just beat the case. He beat the case, and when he beat the case because another dude had a similar case, and he argued the fact that because he didn't commit a crime that was of a violent nature, that therefore the trigger lock law doesn't apply to him. Boosie lawyer used that same precedent, that same case law, and got Boosie out. But then they came back, it's another law, and you got to remember talking about the United States versus Terrence Hatchett. They came out with another law saying that if you smoke drugs, if you smoke weed or do any kind of drugs and you're an addict and you got a gun, that's an entire different charge. Well, the same thing with human trafficking. If you have an underage girl, that's human trafficking, but they enhance it and they build up on the statute. And that's why, we know that these laws are designed to destroy our community. I think Chester Williams called it the destruction of black civilization. Kwanzaa Kajufa called it the conspiracy to destroy young black boys. And my man, Dr. Naeem Akbar, called it the psychological image and change of slavery. So there are many examples. And if you listen to Malcolm X, anybody that's listening, go listen to Malcolm X right now. You know what I'm saying? And then listen to Farrakhan right now. They saying 50 years later after his death, they saying the same exact message. And that message, 60 years later, that message is white supremacy, systemic racism. Tariq Nasheed had 5 joints called Hidden Colors, and we still missing the point. It is white supremacy, and it's hyperbolic. And it's on steroids, and we got to understand that. And not only white supremacy, but systemic racism.
If we're missing the point after all that time, we're not trying to get the point. That's all. It's as simple as that because it's everywhere. If you can't see what's happening at this point, you're not trying to see what's happening. You spoke about the glamorization of pimping, right? In hip hop. Is it accurate? Yeah, I just want to be clear. Is it accurate to say that pimping had a more negative than positive effect on our culture?
Well, no, pimping has nothing to do with the culture because 85% of these niggas ain't pimps.
No, I'm saying the glamorization of it.
No. I think Scarface.
Because you just talked about.
Well, I think Colors. The movie Colors had a negative depiction of our people, on our culture. I think Al Pacino, Scarface, New Jack City. All these movies that we watch, Training Day, it's Hollywood. It's not the movie. It's Hollywood depicting these imageries and pushing these narratives and this propaganda. That's what it is. It don't make a difference. Today is pimping. Guess what? Now they talking about, what's that, fentanyl? You know what I'm saying? It's going to always be something that they're going to use to target the community.
I get you.
But pimping definitely no. Pimp is not the reason because as a former pimp and one of the top ones in the game, I didn't see these dudes, man. I didn't see Snoop. I didn't see T.I. I didn't see none of them dudes out there on the blade, on the track. So that's not the reason.
What I'm trying to just get a clear, answer from you about is, do you believe that pimping in and of itself, the whole imagery of pimping, the glamorization, what it is, the reality of pimping, do you believe that it has more of a positive or negative effect on?
Oh, it's definitely definitely a negative effect on our community. But you got to understand, you got to remember, go back to Pimps Up, Hoes Down, Willie. Right? Before Pimps Up, Hoes Down, wasn't nobody talking about no pimping like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when you put Hollywood in the equation, and Hollywood becomes complicit, you do American Pimp. And then, these people see Pimp and Ken on here with the minks and the diamonds, and I'm popping fast. Now they see imagery. But let me tell you something about the culture of crime, right? I was a bank robber. I used to rob banks. I used to rob jewelry stores. You know what I'm saying? I tried to sell dope. I was a pimp. But out of all that, pimping is the most elite of all the hustles because it's the only game where you got the ING. The ING means I'm not going, send a bitch, right?
What?
I'm not going, send a bitch. ING. I'm not going. Pimping. I'm not going, send a bitch. Now, listen though. You could be a pimp. A lot of people say they could pimp. A pimp is a noun, right? That's a person, place, a thing. But pimping is an action verb. That means you active and attractive, right? You really in the game. You really doing that. Most people just say I'm a pimp, but they never pimping. They never got the ING. So you upset, and that's the most elite of the game. And that goes back to what Goldie pretty much delineate what I'm saying, but he said it in a more player-like way. He said that, man, most of these dudes can't even control, they can't send that bitch to the grocery store and ask for their change.
So then what happens when these dudes see the glamorization of it and decide they want to try pimping and they can't even manage their emotions? Now you see these dudes who beating on these women, and now you give a black eye to the game because these dudes who had no business pimping just because they saw it on TV and didn't have a temperament for it or it got laced the right way, now when the brawl get out of pocket, he don't know how to handle it. He don't know how to let it go. So now he want to go shoot the next dude that she got with her. Now he want to beat on her.
Pimps,
and
right?
That's not a pimp because that's not how you're supposed to be laced.
Give me a name for him.
Huh?
Give me a name. He's not a pimp.
Simps.
Simp?
Yeah, that's what they are. They simp. But
give me another name. Goldie got another name. I can tell you. He was right on
a
tip of his
buster,
tongue.
a sucker. That's what I call him.
simp.
A buster, a sucker. That's a dude who can't control his emotions. A dude who acts like a woman. Dudes who have bitch tendencies are the most dangerous person in the world because they're gonna act out of emotion. But when a man acts out of emotion like a woman, but has male strength, that's dangerous for everybody.
But you're right though. It is negative. I denounce Pimps Up, Hoes Down. I denounce American Pimp. I denounce anyone who promotes pimping and prostitution in a way that it can destroy our children. So, for the record, just make it known that I don't condone it. I don't condone human trafficking. I don't condone forced prostitution and none of that stuff. Now, I will say for the record as well that because of my just observation, I know that 99.9% of the women out there does not have a pimp now. Even if you look at today's pimp, my man Sauce Walker, who's from Houston, right? He had a woman on there. She got $3 million from showing her feet on OnlyFans. people say, I said, man, he the best ever did. The guy where he said, kid, how you gonna say that? I said, because man, you know, that is ingenious. That's evolution. If the man can get all that money from a female and he ain't sitting out there putting it in harm's way, he ain't put it in the club or nothing like that, he just got on the internet, that means that he has evolved. Now, in the pimping, to all my pimps out there, if you're doing the same thing at 40 that you did at 20, as Martin Luther King, as Muhammad Ali said, you lost 20 years. You know, so that's the problem. You know, it's just that, you know, like me, you know, my hoe is my my DVD. My hoe is my book. You know, she don't argue with me. She don't fight. Ain't nobody gonna knock her. You know, I just look at it different, right? Yeah. And that's how I pimp the situation. You know, when you see me going to Simon & Schuster, the biggest publishing company, and getting a deal with Boosie and doing 6 figures, or going to get Ice-T or Corey Wise, you know, doing big deals like that, or the liquor deal with me and my man Steve Love. So Steve Love, my partner, people don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I told people, I said, when Arcanelli from King of Diamonds in Atlanta, when he bought that $20,000 worth of Boosie liquor, he bought it for me. But people didn't even know that I was intertwined in those deals. You know, I'm intertwined in all kind of deals. So I'm pimping on a whole nother level. You know, I'm pimping these Europeans, man. I'm pimping these corporations. You know, I have a C Corps. You know what I'm saying? I have a parent company with 9 companies. I have my own. I have HHF magazine. I have HHF radio. I have HHF social media. I have my own social media, just like Facebook. I have HHF awards. You know, it goes down real big in Atlanta. You know, so I learned how to pimp myself. So when people say, why you still call yourself Pimpin' Ken? Because I'm pimping Ken. I'm pimping me now. And niggas can't even understand it. It's too far over their head, you know.